Hi everyone and welcome to CS3 2022. My name is Christoph Brenzinger from SeaTable, and in today's presentation I want to give you a status update of the no-code platform SeaTable. So let's get started. Just a small note in advance, today's presentation is a status update. On Thursday I will give another presentation with a concrete example. So, what is SeaTable? Well, it depends on who you are dealing with. For a private user, SeaTable is an online spreadsheet solution comparable to Google Sheets or Excel. For a developer, SeaTable is a database comparable to MySQL. And for an IT expert, SeaTable is a no-code platform. In my presentation at CS3 last year, I already talked about these first two approaches, the online spreadsheet and the database. However, in the last weeks and months, many new features and functionalities have been added to make SeaTable a no-code platform. And this I would like to show you today. But before I talk about these features, I would like to briefly explain what I mean by no-code. No-code describes a new approach of software development. Well, no-code shifts the development of processes, solutions, and IT tools away from developers or an IT department to the users. Users are empowered with no-code to build their own solutions. So what you see here in the slide are the central aspects of no-code. Fast creation and deployment of applications, can be implemented by non-experts, cross-team collaboration, easy integration with other platforms through APIs, focus on problem solving, less on design and interfaces. Now, let's take a look at SeaTable's new capabilities as a no-code platform. First, SeaTable offers easy-to-configure automations. You can easily define new triggers and actions in the web browser. The screenshot shows how it looks if you want to create a new row. But also other actions are possible, like send a notification, send an email, add a new row, execute a Python script, add a link, log the specific row, or change or update the values of a row. So these are the automations. Second, SeaTable works with 4 of the most popular automation platforms. These are Zapier, Integromat, N8N, and Locoya. Well, Zapier is the American market leader. Most of you should know them. Integromat is a European alternative. N8N is a self-hosted automation platform, and Locoya is an emerging startup. So for all of these, all 4 are now supported or support automations with SeaTable. Every time you need any kind of database or data storage and such an automation, SeaTable should be the perfect solution, a perfect fit. What you can see over here is just a simple approach how to categorize new customers and define what kind of follow-up you want to do with them. For example, you have a kind of registration form and somebody has to add his email address. Then the mailbox validator just tries to figure out if the mail address is correct or not and clear it. The second one is just a process who tries to find out if there's a company behind this email address or if this is a private person. And you can just define, well, if it's a company and this has more than 30 users, for example, well, then add it to send in blue. It's just like ActiveCampaign and mail automation system. And then it just sends out a specific email. And all this kind of information, you can store these steps into SeaTable so that you have a perfect overview of all your data in just an application like SeaTable. And this whole process is just designed and implemented by an automation platform like Integromat. So, third one, the web forms. Well, for each table in SeaTable, we call them bases or a base, SeaTable can create a web form. So you have a base with a specific structure, with specific columns, and you just add a new web form on top of it, and SeaTable takes care of the rest. So you can define which columns you want to show, who is capable to add new content via this web form, or what happens if somebody submits this form. All this is just configured via the web interface with the help of SeaTable. So it's very easy to create a kind of process for, customer feedback that you just want to collect, or an internal feedback solution, can be implemented with SeaTable within minutes. So fourth one, SeaTable allows calculation across all rows of a table. We call this data processing. For example, you can just display the visitor development on your own website in just a few seconds. Just imagine you have, so every week you just count the number of visitors on your web page. Every measurement is a new row, and you can use data processing, for example, to calculate the accumulated values over all rows, or to calculate the delta between the different rows, so that you can see, okay, we had an increase or a decrease in percentage. So this can be just easily done via the web interface, via the data processing. So fifth, SeaTable is not only a good database or suitable for data analysis. With the page designer, you can create PDF documents super easy, like mail merge in Word. You just have a kind of database of users, and you just define how a page should look like, and you just create PDF documents for all your rows you have stored inside SeaTable. So, for example, we use for SeaTable and for SeaFile this page design plugin to create all, or to manage all our licenses and license documents within SeaTable without a single line of code. So we have a row for every customer. We just define the expiring date of the license, how many users, and what's the customer, and we just click on a button inside SeaTable, and it just generates the license file, the txt file, and we click on another button, and it just generates this license form which can just send to the customer. So super easy approach. And the last one, for data visualization, SeaTable offers over 20 different chart types. So this allows you to build super fancy management dashboards just within minutes. Now, I have told you what no-code is and what capabilities make SeaTable a no-code platform. But probably you might ask you, why is this so important? Well, because no-code is predicted to grow tremendously in the next few years. For example, Airtable, the American market leader, has raised $1.2 billion so far. Airtable was just founded in 2003 and has already the size of some MDAX companies, so it's huge. On the other hand, the market analysts expect a huge growth in the next few years. A Gartner analysis report just mentioned $87 billion is the estimated size of the total no-code platform market in 2027. So this is in 5 years. So it's crazy. But what does that have to do with SeaTable? Well, SeaTable was just founded 1.5 years ago. And SeaTable is neither the first nor the largest player in the market. But SeaTable has two huge advantages. And the first advantage is SeaTable is one of the few solutions that have targeted on-premises deployment from the beginning. Somebody who wants to keep his data under control will not use Airtable, but they can use SeaTable because it has an on-premise setup. And the second advantage is SeaTable has a powerful API that allows any integration with your favorite apps. So these are the two major advantages I see. And I'm very sure that these two are the central reasons why we have such a large number of high-profile leads already after 1.5 years. In the list, you can just see, you find only companies and organizations that you might know. For example, the German Armed Force. There's an innovation project focused by the School of Information Technology in cooperation with the Cyber Innovation Hub. Currently, these are only 2.5 thousand users, but they're evaluating the value of SeaTable for the whole German Armed Forces. And there's a huge potential because so many processes within the German Armed Forces can be improved by the no-code platform SeaTable. Another lead are the United Nations. Well, to be precise, the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner of Human Rights. They're evaluating SeaTable to improve their internal research processes. Wikimedia, the root organization behind Wikipedia, they just started to use SeaTable for the internal marketing and event processes. The Qatar Tourism Council, they have an on-premise installation with more than 1,000 users. And the city administration of Kiel and Stuttgart, they are evaluating SeaTable to build very specific or, well, unique processes for city administrations in Germany. So if Kiel and Stuttgart have these problems, all the other cities in Germany will have these problems too. And for all of them, SeaTable will be a huge advantage. Möbel Innhofer, probably you know, they want to, SeaTable should help their sales team to work more efficient. And, well, one fun fact, a contractor of the US Department of Homeland Security asked us to get a trial license. And, as soon as we told them that SeaTable is developed in China, they said they're not interested anymore. But, well, the reason why they asked for a trial license for SeaTable was, to have a self-hosted on-premise system. They could use Airtable, it's a US company, but they wanted to have an on-premise solution. So I'm now coming to the end of my presentation, and I hope I have been able to clarify the following to you. SeaTable has implemented many new features in 2021, among others, to become a powerful no-code platform. But that's not enough for us. Our goal is to become the leading self-hosted on-premise no-code platform. Thanks a lot. This was Christoph from SeaTable, and now I'm looking forward for your questions. Thank you very much.